Look at this application. User management, order processing, payment, inventory, notification, analytics. All of it in one single application, one database, one deployment. Now watch what happens when the notification module has a bug. The entire application goes down. Order stop, payment system stop, everything because of one broken function. Due to that, it crashes all six modules, zero isolation. Or imagine it is a big billion day sale. Payments are under massive load. You want to scale just the payment module, but you can't it. In this architecture, you scale everything or nothing. You are paying for six times the infrastructure when you only need one. This is the monolithic problem. And it is exactly why company like Amazon, Netflix, Uber, and Swiggy has to rethink how they build the software. This is talented developer and this series solves the problem from scratch. Around 28 episode we are going to have. One real project from zero to AWS deployment. Let's start with understanding the problem we are solving. Let me explain what a monolithic application is with the simple example. Imagine we are building an e-commerce application like Amazon or Flipkart. We have users, orders, payment, inventory, notification, analytics. In a monolithic application, all of this lives in one single application. One Spring Boot project, one database, one deployment. Now this actually work fine when you are starting out, when your team is 2 to 3 people and you have a few hundreds user. A monolithic application is perfectly fine. It is simple, fast and easy to build. Where problem grows, the problem start when you grow. Scenario 1, deployment. Your existing teams fix a bug in the notification module. A small fix, 5 line of code, but to deploy it, you have to redeploy the entire application, every module. And if the deployment fails, everything goes down, including the payment system that was working perfectly fine earlier. Scenario 2, a scaling problem. It is a big billion day sale on Flipkart. The payment service is under huge load. Thousands of transactions per second. You want to scale just the payment service, but you can't. In a monolithic application, you just scale whole application. You are paying for 6 times the resource. You only need it one time. Scenario 3, the team problem. You have 20 developer, all of them are working on same code base. Every morning, merge conflict, developer A change, break, developer B feature. Nobody knows whose code broke what. Scenario 4, technology problem. Your data science team wants to write the recommendation engine in Python, but the entire application is Java. They either rewrite in Java or build a completely separate system. I want to give a real world analogy before the technical explanation. Think of a monolithic application, one large restaurant with one big kitchen. Everything happen in one place. Starter, main course, dessert, drink, one kitchen, one team, one menu. It's look great when the restaurant is small. But when the restaurant get popular, the kitchen becomes bottleneck. Let me show one example. Crash. One chef drop a dish. The whole kitchen might shut down while they clean up. Next one is scaling. Imagine dessert section is slowing down the entire kitchen and it is huge demanded. On that time, what will be happen? You need more dessert chef, but you must need to hire the whole kitchen. That will be 4 times cost of one problem. Teams, 10 chefs sharing one kitchen, one stove, one prepare counter. They get in each other way every single day. That means one kitchen, one point of failure, one bottleneck forever. Now think of a food court. Pizza stall, burger stall, Chinese stall, dessert stall. Each stall operates completely independent. Imagine burger stall closed. So what will be happen? Pizza, Chinese and dessert keep serving. Zero impact on others. Imagine pizza stall is busy. Only that stall add more staff. Other outlet is completely working fine. You just need to introduce more staff in the pizza section. Each stall has its own chef, own kitchen, its own menu. So nobody gets each other way. So the first example, whatever I given, that is monolithic and the food court is microservice. Each stall is microservice here. So I hope you understand in monolithic, if dessert section break, it is going to break down your entire kitchen. While in microservice, if burger stall breaks, that means only that section will be closed. Other section will be working fine. Same if the pizza get popular, that means you just need to introduce more stuff in the pizza section. So exactly what are microservices? Microservices is an architecture style where a large application is broken down into a smaller independent service, each responsible for one specific business function. Look at this diagram. Instead of one giant application, we have a user service only handle users. Registration, profile, order service handles orders, place order, track order, cancel order. Same for notification, only send notification, email, SMS, push notification. Auth service only handle login, auth, and JWT token. An API gateway, a single entry point. All requests come here. So this will be the simple architecture of a microservice. Here, if you notice, each run on its own port. That means completely independent. They has their own set of database. That means no need to share. So in this case, if notification service crash, that means only that particular service will be affected. Other application will be up and working fine. Same for a scale order. Suppose you want to just scale the order service. That means you can easily boost up more instance in the order service. That means you no need to worry about other services. So when big billion sale is going to happen, you just need to scale up order service. So who uses microservices? All of these companies, Netflix, Amazon, Swiggy, Zomato, Razorpay, run on microservice. Netflix has over 700 microservices. Even Uber has 1000 microservices. For every Java backend developer job description, definitely microservices is mentioned. It is a standard for building production grade backend system today. Let me quickly compare these two slides by side so difference is crystal clear. In monolithic, one code base, one database, one deployment, scale the whole thing or nothing. One bug can slow down the entire system. In microservices, each service is its own world. Independent codebase, independent database, deploy only what change, scale only what's under load. One service goes down, the rest keep running. But this is the important. Microservices are not always the right answer. So when not to use microservice. Now here something most tutorial won't tell you. Microservices are not always the right choice. As a developer, knowing when not to use something is just as important as knowing how to use it. Don't use microservices if your team is 2 to 3 people. The overhead of managing multiple services database deployment will slow you down massively. You are building a MVP or a startup first version. Build a monolithic first. Get it market first. Split into services when you are actually have a scaling problem. Your application is genuinely simple. Not everything needs microservice. A basic CRUD application for a small company. Monolithic is perfectly fine. Martin Flower says, one of the most respected in the world, actually said, don't start with microservice. Start with a monolithic, identify the boundaries, then extract services. Amazon did not start as microservices. Netflix did not start as a microservices. They started as monolithic, migrated as they grow. So when we can use microservices? When your team is growing, your system is under real scaling pressure, different part of your system needs different scaling, different technology or different deployment cycle. Best architecture is the simplest one that solve your problem. Monolithic first, microservice when you need them. Okay, now we understand the problem and the solution. Let me show you what we are going to build in this series. Look at this diagram. This is what we are building together over the next 28 episodes. We are building a complex e-commerce backend, user service, order service, notification, auth service, API gateway, Eureka config server. We are going to secure with dedicated auth service, JWT token, key clock for enterprise authentication, rate limiting with Redis. We are going to make it resilient, circuit breaker, Kafka for async communication, Saga pattern for distributed transaction. We are going to monitor with Prometheus, Grafana dashboard, distributed tracing with Zipkin, centralized logging with ELK. We are going to containerize it, Docker Compose. We are going to deploy Kubernetes, GitHub Action, CI/CD pipeline, and finally AWS Real Cloud, Real Production. By episode 28, you will have built a system that you can put on your resume and confidently talk about in any interview. And the best part, we build one project throughout the entire series, episode by episode. We add to same e-commerce project. By end, it is fully working production ready system. Important. You don't need any microservices experience, but you do need to know Java and basic Spring Boot, REST API, JPM, Spring Security basics. Here is the full roadmap, 28 episodes, 7 phase. Starting with the foundation, then we'll talk about microservices, then making microservices talk each other, then securing everything, then resilience, then monitoring, and finally container and CI/CD pipeline. Every episode built on previously one. Every episode adds something real to the project. Watch this series in order. The GitHub repository will be in the description. Each episode has its own branch, so the code can be checked at any point. So let me summarize what we learned today. A monolithic, one application, everything together, work for a small team, become a serious problem as the system grows. Microservices split into a small independent services, each of its own database, its own deployment, its own scaling. Key benefit: independent scaling, independent deployment, fault isolation, technology flexibility. Microservices are not always great answer. Do not use for them MVP or a small application. Start with monolithic. This series build a complete e-commerce microservices system from scratch to AWS. In the next episode, before writing a single line of microservices code, the full development environment gets set up like Java, code editor, Postman, and so many things. Episode 3 cannot be followed without episode 2. Do not skip it. If this give a clear picture of what microservices are and why they matter, the like button is right below. It genuinely helps this series to reach more developer. The full playlist is in description. Bookmark it and work through in order. See you in the next one.